Today's lesson is about one of my favorite topics. And that is because it is the place that we're most afraid of going to. Our minds are these beautiful, powerful things that do so much to try to protect us. But by protecting us, they are keeping us from knowing ourselves. We have this self image that is so distorted. And that tells us this story that if we were to know our true self, somehow that would reveal something terrible. That if we were to look underneath and face who we really are, that it would reveal something that we don't really want to see. Now, on the surface, you may not realize this, you may not think this, but it comes from all those layers of shame that we have built around behaviors, around the things we have done or not done, the mental weight of who we were told we are and why that wasn't okay. I believe this is the reason why so many people choose to distract themselves from the deeper work, from the places that they don't want to look, they don't want to see. They think that those places that are hidden away in our deep subconscious are so scary and so wrong because at some point in our life, whether you had a traumatic experience or not, or whether you were actually blatantly told these things or not, something told us that you're not whole, that I am not whole. Something told you that there is something so wrong with you that you had to start putting on these masks. Now, some of this might even be epigenetic, meaning that you're carrying it from generations of experience, that you're holding it from your parents, your grandparents, and their parents, and further back. Because we don't want to let everything be seen. That would be too scary. If you are a woman and have any inkling towards spirituality, which if you are here on day 93 of Rewired, then you probably do. You probably have traces of the women that were burned for practicing spirituality in a way that was helping to heal other people. Think about that. Think about the fact that we had mass genocide of women a few thousand years ago because they were doing practices based in earth-based spirituality that often led to the healing of others. What does that do to the mind, to the psyche? It starts to warp and distort the things that are actually truly amazing gifts and starts to say to you, no, in order to be safe, we can't look there. We can't see that. We can't acknowledge that part of ourselves. That is dark. That is bad. This is just one example, but it's a widely known one. And so one you may be able to understand and relate to in some way. But the lesson today is that joy and peace abide within you always. That is the home. And that if you actually would be willing to look deeper, if you would be willing to take a little step off the path that you've been told you need to walk and step a little further into a place that feels like the unknown, that it's not actually darkness, it's not actually scary, it's home. And that it's in that place that your truest self lies. The one deeply connected to the divine, the one that already lives within you, the one that is always guiding you if you're listening. As people who stand as leaders, who are achieving, who are building and creating things, being willing to do this, to see this, to open up and see all of yourself, that is when you become your most powerful, most impactful version of you. This is true for everyone, but particularly for those who have already stepped into some level of sovereign creating. The power is on the tip of your fingers. It's right there. It's so interesting to think that somewhere subconsciously, and maybe not even that subconscious, we often believe that what would be revealed about us if we stop distracting ourselves with work and busyness and productivity and actually leaned deeper into the gifts, if we peel back the layers a little bit and spend some time with ourself instead of distracting ourselves with all of this work, that somehow what would be revealed is so horrific. It's not worth going there. But what if you found out? If you leaned in and you decided that all of these choices that you're making all the time to be so overwhelmed and so productive and so whatever, those aren't actually that necessary. You're adding turns to the hamster wheel every time you're doing that, choosing that over connecting deeper with your inner self, over going a little further into the unknown parts of you, because that's where this divine knowing lives. And what if when you go there, you realize how deeply beautiful you truly are, how whole you are. And then you can operate from a place that is no longer trying to prove anything, and instead from a knowing that you are whole and that everything you're giving to the world is a gift. What would that feel like to you? Feeling this requires only one thing, that you are whole exactly as you are, that God created you perfect exactly as you are, and that none of it has to do with that which you made yourself. All of these achievements, accomplishments, all of those things that you are wearing as badges of honor and achievement and work, they pale in comparison to the value you have just by being you. Whatever mistakes you have made, whatever missteps you have taken, it does not change the fact that you are still worthy. You are still whole. You are still perfect, exactly as you are. Light and joy live within you consistently and forever because you were already whole. So now, today, we're going back to our exercise in repeating the lesson that we have for the day, the idea of the day, and doing this ideally 4 or 5 times, setting that reminder on your phone so that you can remind yourself peace, and joy, and light live within me. I am whole. Peace, joy, and light live within me. I am whole. Or you can add, I am already whole. Simple. It's easy today. If you have moments where repeating this thought feels uncomfortable, take a deep breath be with your body, notice where it is, acknowledge it, and thank it. And thank you for being here with me today, day 93 of Rewired. I appreciate you and your devotion for this practice, and I will see you tomorrow for day 94.